Hello everyone, I'm sure by now you're getting sick to the death of looking at price elasticity of demand. There's just one final thing that I want to bring in, and it's very important, but it's something that people tend to find quite difficult. And what I'm going to use is basically the notes that I've already given you on this topic to give you a bit of clarity on it. Now, we've already looked at price inelastic, price elastic, and unitary demand. Let's fast forward to this. Now, this is something really, really odd. Okay, now the demand curve is one curve. But if we were to do some calculations along this, what we will find is that the elasticity will change along the curve. Now, what you tend to find is that when the price is low, a change in price would lead to an inelastic change in demand. So what I mean by that is if you were to increase the price by, let's say, 10%, then the demand would fall by less than 10%. So the change in price would exceed the change in demand. When the price is high, then what you will find is demand is price elastic. So this time, if there was a 10% increase in price, demand would fall by more than 10%. In other words, the change in the price will be less than the change in demand. If we're in the middle, unitary, all that basically means is 10% change in price, let's say 10% increase in price, demand will fall by 10%. They change in proportion to each other. But the thing is, why? Why does this happen? Now, a really simple way of looking at this is to use this. Let's think about a numerical example. So on the vertical axis, what I've got prices, 50p, all the way down to 3. And then I've got the demand at different prices. And when you look at it, you know, it's just a basic demand curve. As the price falls, the demand increases. So for example, when the price was 50p, demand was nothing. When you put the price down to 10p, 80 people were demanding this product. So it's a basic demand curve. But look how the elasticity changes along this. When we start at 40p, if we lower the price by 5p, so down to 35p, what that will result in is a 12.5% fall in the price level. Look what happens to the demand. It goes from 20 to 30. It's gone up by 50%. Okay, and that leads to a price elastic demand. It's -4. But then contrast that with what happens down at the bottom when the price is low. Again, price falls by 5p, but this time from 10p down to 5p. That's a 50% fall in the price. Okay, now the demand, again, like before, increases by 10. But this time, because we've gone from 80 to 90, the demand has only increased by 12.5%, which gives us an overall inelastic demand. So why does this happen? Well, think about it logically. When the price is high, say at 40p, a 5p fall in price is a much lower percentage than a 5p fall in price from 10p down to 5p. So it's a 5p in both scenarios, but it's a much bigger drop in percentage price when we're at 10p compared to 40p. Then flip it. In both scenarios, it leads to demand increasing by 10. But when I go from 20 to 30, it will be a much bigger percentage change in demand than it will be going from 80 to 90. Okay, so when the price is high, price drop in price will be a smaller percentage than what it will be when the price is already low. When the demand is fairly low, demand increasing will lead to potentially quite a big percentage change in demand, but not compared to a similar number change in demand when the demand is already quite high. Okay, so like I said, that's quite a difficult thing to get your head round, and it's something that people struggle with. If you can get your head around this, you will impress that examiner.